honey. Welcome back. So I'm gonna do my makeup. I already just put on the Becca and Smashbox Under Eye Brightening Corrector in the shade Dark on my eyelids, and you probably see that I already have a little bit of makeup on, and that's because I threw stuff on right before my first client. So now I have time to actually do the makeup I wanted to do. And I have on powder foundation. uh it's the Makeup Forever Powder Foundation HD Skin Matte Velvet. This is the shade 4N68. I don't hear people talking about this at all ever anymore. um Let me show you my outfit. So I have on this like blousey blouse. Oh, almost fell. And then jeans, and then these shoes. Okay. All right. So I'm switching up the days I'm coming to my office. So I'm all discombobulated because I didn't set my alarm correctly, but I did make it here with like 45 minutes to spare before my first client. And then yesterday, my sister in LA, that's where all my siblings are, contacted me to tell me that she was connecting with a therapist in DC and she wanted to connect us. And now we have connected and we're going to get together, hopefully, and kind of, you know, make some connections. Okay. Who wants an update on the HOA meeting? And today I'm going to use some singles. Excuse me. Uh, and I'll tell you what they are when I do my weekly roundup because I don't want to take them out of here right now, but I'm going to go in with this one first. The update is so anticlimactic, you guys. Like, okay, so the meeting was on Wednesday. Now we're a few days after. So in the email, it said the meeting was at 6:30 p.m. So I had gotten home. I was tired, but I was like, I'm gonna take a shower. I'm gonna get everything set up because they were doing it by Zoom, and I'm going to just be ready, right? So I knew Mr. Jim was gonna be there, child, because we know Mr. Jim was gonna be there. Okay. But my neighbor, she wasn't able to make it anymore. So she's like next to me. Mr. Jim is two houses down from me. Um, so I'm sitting there in the like Zoom waiting room at 6:27, right? I'm ready to go. And it's not starting. It keeps saying like waiting for host to start the meeting or whatever it says, right before. And it kept saying that. And then I kept getting like kicked off. So I'm like, are these jokers trying to not let me in? Right? I'm like, "Yeah, is this personal? Like, wait, what's happening?" But then I got kicked off about two, three times, and all I did was kept pushing rejoin or whatever it is. Cause I'm like, oh, if you playing with me, I'm gonna keep coming till you let me in. But then at about 6:47, the meeting, everything starts and I'm in the room. And for the first time ever, y'all, well, in the couple of times that, we've been talking about all this stuff, it's like 20, 25 people in the meeting. And I think it's because Mr. Jim had gone around a whole neighborhood and he was riling people up, okay? And it's about 20 people in there. So I'm like, bet. Uh, and last time they didn't have a quorum, so we couldn't have an official meeting. But now it seemed like the board is like present, ready, and waiting. Okay. So, y'all, when I tell you this meeting started off real professional, the woman who had told Mr. Jim to calm his ass down, she wasn't running it. It was some other lady, Rachel, whatever her name is. Very professional, very like to the point. Here come Mr. Jim. Mr. Jim starts off heavy and he's talking about all the bulk trash stuff. Now it has been taken, okay? And Rachel I was like, she's running this meeting well because she was like, okay, Mr. Jim, I totally understand. We're getting to like 6:53, so we're gonna just wrap up with you, and we have about 15 things to go over, so we'll definitely come back. So I was like, okay, that's much better than telling him to calm his ass down. Now, then there was somebody else, Ben or something. I'm like, I don't know who Ben is, but Ben seems to be in charge of the meeting. Ben is taking up space, right? Y'all, so they start with some shenanigans about somebody had a mattress out and they were asking Liz if it was hers because her house number was sprayed on there, and Liz is like, nah, it wasn't me. She was also like, and I think everybody thought that the meeting started at 6:30. Now it's 6:45, and a lot of us were just in the waiting area, probably just drinking coffee or something. I'm like, I'm a fan of Liz. I know who she is, but I'm a fan. Cause I'm like, oh, everybody coming ready tonight. Okay. Like I was like, oh, okay, I could just let me sit on back and let you new folks take care of it. Cause they tired of me and Mr. Jim. All the while back in the background, Mr. Jim is texting me. Bestie. Okay, so they get started. They show the budget. Y'all, I'm taking notes. Oh, I think I did. I brought my little notebook. See what it says. Oh, I did like 4 pages of notes. Okay. Oh, okay. So they started with the whole mattress thing, and Liz is like, that ain't mine. Um, and they're like, well, yeah, we need to really take care of the bulk trash and the trash in the area. I've put in, like, this was Rachel, I think. I put in a police report because this is actually illegal to dump the trash. Sitting here like, I thought, like, isn't that what we had said? Anyway, so somebody else is like, and also it's theft of services or sign. And Homegirl was like, I got the copy of the police report today. And I'm just sitting here like, are they actually attending to what we had asked them to attend to? I'm so confused, right? So we keep on going. So first we start with the budget and stuff. And I'm writing down who I think is on the board, right? Because there were two folks who were in the same place. Oh, maybe it was Renee. Rachel? I don't know what her name is. But they were together, and I'm like, okay, I think they're both on the board because I remember her name. Then we got Ben, then somebody else, and somebody else. I'm just trying to write down who these people were, right? And then Liz said her thing, and I wrote down that she has a strong personality and I like her. Um, Next page. They did the budget. Then they were like, we don't have any notes for September because we didn't have a quorum, so we couldn't have the meeting. Oh, okay. Y'all know what was going on in September when me and Mr. Jim came for y'all, but nobody wrote it down. Okay. Okay. I'm also apparently I'm writing my thoughts as we do this, and I feel like they had a meeting before this meeting because everyone is super professional. Okay. So So then they go into they have the notes up or whatever, and I'm taking pictures. I'm screenshotting on my phone, on the computer. I'm doing all kinds of things. And they were like, then they now have funds available to get some private property signs and some like no trespassing signs and some like dummy cameras. So it's not even we're not even paying for real cameras. Wait. Okay, y'all. I understand, but listen. Okay. So then they were like, well, we should really get a committee together to, talk about where the camera should go and deal with the trash and blah, blah, blah. And so they start going on and on about, I mean, it's already difficult to get people to come to the meetings. And I wanted to be like, and y'all six wasn't even here last month. What you talking about? It's hard to get people to come to this meeting. because you didn't come. That's why we didn't have a quorum. And the only reason y'all came, I know, is because you knew that Mr. Jim was going to come in here with me and we was going to cause a ruckus. So then they're like, yeah, we really need to get people on the committee. Guess who is the first one to offer to be on the committee? Went ahead and volunteered. I don't want to be on nobody's committee, y'all. But I can't just talk mess and then if they try to do something, I'm just like, I'm gonna let everybody else do it. I have to be on the committee, okay? I have to. So then we go on talking about, they're like, so we've consulted with the bulk trash people, and they said that, um, the bulk trash, there's been an uptick in it in all of the communities. First of all, when did you talk to these people? Because I talked to them too. And they were like, yeah, it took 2 weeks for them to get around to coming to pick up the bulk trash. No, it didn't, because when I called, they said that they could come out right away. So I feel like they were gaslighting us, y'all. I feel like they were gaslighting us. I called Erica, I called my sister. I was like, am I in some alternate reality? Because they're acting so professional. They're being real nice and like talking to me and Mr. Jim, especially Mr. Jim, because he was going on and on. I had to mute him. And like, I was just like, so all this stuff that we've been saying, y'all are all of a sudden doing it? So why was it that you were saying that you couldn't give us any information since it was related to a homeowner? No, it wasn't. Why are you giving us this info now? What's different? What's different in the past 2 weeks? What's different? The fact that we put in complaints to the, what is it? Environmental office of whatever. Is that why? Or me and Mr. Jim have sent numerous messages. I'm hoping other people were too, because it seemed like me and Mr. Jim was the only ones heading up this unofficial committee that's now an official one. I was just like, these people are full of it because they're literally acting like none of this happened. They're acting like we did not have these conversations. They acting like they didn't tell this man to calm his ass down. And then that homegirl, Anna, whatever her name is, she's like, well, how much is this going to cost? Because I know that homeowners don't want to pay extra. Who are you? Okay? Who are you? Because y'all have all changed personalities because everybody's real. I why are they so like nice, accommodating, uh transparent? I'm not believing it. I don't know. I'm not believing it because I thought they were gonna be real nasty. And I was so surprised at that meeting. I was so surprised. Like I was expecting and ready and willing to fight. Okay? Why is something on my lip? Ready and willing and able and down for the cause. But then they were just acting like no big deal. Like they've been attending to our needs and all this stuff. I even saw that the trash people came more often. Like, and then here came Miss Pritchett. She my other favorite besides Liz. So Miss Pritchett was like, "Can we change the days and times that they come in to pick up this trash because it's a lot of people here, and we need trash to be picked up about 3 times so we can set it two." And she went on and on, and then she was talking about who was supposed to like prune the trees and stuff. And Ben was like, okay, like we'll get to that in a second. Like we have some other things to talk about. And she was like, oh, okay, I got a second. Miss Bridget, yes. And so they were like, oh, well, the county is in charge of that. And she was like, oh, okay, I'll call them tomorrow. I'm like, where was y'all last month? Okay? Because apparently I didn't even need to get involved in this because y'all could have done it. But now I'm tied to a committee that I don't want to be on. Okay? Like that's what it is. They always trying to get me on a committee. That's what happens when you interfere with things. I should have just held my words. And then, of course, Mr. Jim is on the committee. You know that, right? And he was like, we need to get this committee started right now. I'm like, damn, that's what you get for interfering with stuff. You should have just left it alone. Now I'm on the committee, y'all, and I'm like, frantically checking my email every other moment because I'm sure Mr. Jim has already sent tasks. Okay. I'm gonna just be like, Mr. Jim, listen, I have a full-time job. It's more than full time. I own this business. And I don't have time to be doing all this, sir. Can I make a donation to something? But listen, I'll be on top of if we need to have this trash picked up Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm gonna be right outside there by the dumpster at the time, making sure that they coming over there. Cause I've been the spy, okay? Because I've been like, I'm gonna keep my eyes on this outside to see if anybody is over here dumping stuff, proving that I have nothing else to do. Anyway, so I got off of there at some point. I'm gonna go in this shade because I had to go have dinner with G. Okay. And I was like, yes, y'all bugging me, but you not about to get in the way of my time with my boo. Right. That was actually really nice. We've both been so busy. Um, 'Cause, both business owners, sole proprietors or whatever, have staff and everything. Um, so we ended up getting, no, we weren't super, I wasn't super duper late in the evening, but we got dinner. It was so good. We had seafood. He had, what did he have? Stuffed salmon with collard greens and corn, and I had a crab cake with mac and cheese and broccoli. And then we had some strong drink. Um, so it was really nice. It's just, it's hard when you both have such busy schedules. But he always tries to say, I'm busy. I'm like, actually, you're busy. Okay. And the more we talk about it, the more I understand the level of busyness. Cause sometimes I'm like, but what you doing? You can't even call or nothing. Like you can't text me when you on the toilet. I don't understand. But it was nice to have time together. It was really, really nice, you guys. And he was like, I'm so happy you're here. And I'm like, I'm so happy I'm here. And then we started watching Bad Boys 2. Why wasn't I into it? I was like, do you feel like they're overacting? And he said something very intelligent. And I was like, oh, sometimes I forget that you're smart. I'm really nice. Okay, so I'm going to probably go into the mats, but I'll find a brush for that. I'm not going to use my fingers. So let's get to the news that doesn't revolve around me. In Washington State, this woman, did they say her name? No, they didn't give her name. They gave her neighbor's name because neighbors are real nosy. uh Wendy Crank, who lives nearby, she has something to say about this lady, but I'm gonna tell you why she couldn't get in her house. She alerted authorities that she couldn't get inside her house because there was a raccoon invasion. Girl, what? So I'm like, now we gotta worry about raccoons. This ain't even near me. This is in Washington State, the whole other side. So I'm like, now we gotta worry about raccoons and stuff. Like, what was happening? So a spokesperson for the county sheriff said the woman called deputies because about 100 raccoons were outside her house demanding food. Girl, I don't know how they was demanding it. I don't know if they were standing up on their hind legs like, bitch. Open that bag. They're like, why are you playing? We know you got something in there for us. And you know why? I'm gonna tell you why. But first, let me tell you what Wendy Crank, the neighbor, said. She said that she's recently seen several raccoons in that area, and one of her dogs got into a little scuffle with one of the raccoons, and she had to take the dog to the vet after the tussle with the raccoon. Now, no one was bitten or anything in the incident. But the reason that Homegirl called was because she had contacted a trapping organization for help, but they said that it was going to be $500 per raccoon. To take one, it's gonna be $500. Two, it's gonna be 1,000. Three, you get it. Okay, it's gonna be $500 per. But she got 100 raccoons up in her backyard or front yard or whatever. That's a lot of money. So I guess she was like, I'm trying to be cost effective. I'm not paying y'all for that. So let me go ahead and call the police. The sheriff people had the nerve to say, at this point, it's been determined that the raccoons haven't committed any crimes. See, people like to play like these police officers and stuff. They like to play now, okay? They like to play with okay, so we know the raccoons ain't commit no crime. You know who committed the crime? Miss Ma'am, the raccoon feeder. That's what she was doing. She was feeding these raccoons. I think she was feeding them pretty consistently to the point where they were probably bringing friends over. Like, hey, she got the good stuff. Like, just stand there. She gonna throw you something. And now you have where, first of all, y'all have all these raccoons at your house. I mean, in your neighborhood. Child, when I was leaving G's house, he was like, "Oh, I saw a raccoon, so let me go first." And then he like turned around and like made me think that there was a raccoon. I almost punched him in the face. Anyway, so she was over here feeding the raccoons. That's why it's 100 of them now on your doorstep, ma'am. That's why they say don't feed these animals. Y'all be going to the zoo trying to climb over fences and take pictures with tigers, and now you over here feeding these animals that you shouldn't be feeding. Listen, the raccoon gonna find some food, okay? They're gonna be fine. It's 100 of them now, though. I feel like they came from like other neighborhoods. You know when you hear about like a really good deal on food, like remember when who was it? Popeyes came out with that chicken sandwich and people were like lining up for days and fighting and they ran out of chicken and all kinds of stuff. That's what happened here. That 100 raccoons, them raccoons were probably hopping on flights to get to that lady's house. They were like, oh, that's where we need to be. Okay. They were like guaranteed food. Could you imagine coming home to your house and it's 100 raccoons in front of it? That gives me chills. Because no, I would keep on driving. I would just be like, y'all can have it, okay? Whatever's in there, go for it. Break in and it's yours. I could not. I could not. I will not. I won't not. I am just. Could y'all believe that? What would you do if you came home and there was 100 raccoons just in your front yard? And it sounds like they were waiting real patiently, but I bet you what, if she walked up in there and didn't come out with no food, I bet you they was going to attack, okay? They were going, then the crime was going to be committed. But she brought this on herself. Ain't nobody told you, girl, to be feeding these daggone raccoons. And the funny thing is, it seems like the sheriff's office were like, babes, you got to go to the Department of Fish and Wildlife to address your raccoon problem. And that's where she was like, I called them, but it's gonna be $500. I hope taxpayer money is not going to remove these raccoons. Oh, if I was her neighbor, I would be beyond pissed. Like, I know you did not. I know you didn't. That's what I know for sure. You didn't. How you gonna have all these damn raccoons? What? How you get rid of all them raccoons? What? I feel like Erica and her husband found a raccoon in their backyard and they were trying to adopt the daggone thing. But I bet you even them, they'd be a little upset about 100 of them. Girl, but child, I would move. I would have to. You can have the home because I know when I open this door, it's not like y'all gonna stand there like some wedding guests. You gonna try to get in, okay? I know you are. I know you're gonna try to get in. I'm like, what was she feeding them? Was she making like 5-star meals? Like, what was she? And I love that they're just like, I hope somebody helps her. This is a public nuisance at this point. This and she said they were demanding food. I'm wondering, did they have like a leader of the little group who was like trying to negotiate with her? Like, ma'am, it's 100 of us over here. You better be like Jesus and the fish and the bread and pray that you could feed all of us, because that's why we here. And the sheriff's people are like, don't feed wild animals. When animals have a reliable food source, they're going to keep coming back to it. And that's what these raccoons did until the number of raccoons expecting a meal got out of hand. It got out of hand when there were two. It got out of hand when there were two, because these raccoons had to travel. They had to travel from other places. Ain't no way it's all them raccoons in that one little community, right? Is that possible? There's no way. I don't believe it. I don't believe it for a second. Ain't no way it's all them raccoons up in that community. What? Imagine rolling up to your house and being like, "What's all that?" And then got to call the police to get yourself in your house. Girl, ain't nobody told you to feed these animals. Ain't nobody told you to feed these animals, okay? I'm sorry that this is happening to you. But like once they remove these raccoons, girl, you better watch your back, okay? Because now you got a hundred beings who coming for you, because they're gonna be like, you've been feeding us until now, and then now you gotta call the authorities and have them trapping us and trying to take us somewhere. Sleep with one eye open. Okay, so I'm gonna put a little bit of liquid foundation on, just to like make me look less tired. So in Istanbul, over in, Istanbul's of Turkey, this lady went to have some plastic surgery on her face. I don't know what exactly the procedure was, but go you. I'm going in with the Sephora Best Skin Ever foundation in the shade 59N. So, homegirl, again, we don't have her name, but she goes to a private hospital to get a little bit of work done. It seems like it was elective. Like it doesn't seem like there was any like other reason besides her wanting to change her face, I guess. And so she had the surgery, and then a couple hours later, she wake up from the anesthesia, and she was captured on camera because homegirl was trying to sneak out the hospital because she didn't want to pay. This woman, she's wearing a hospital gown and white slippers, and her face is swollen and like covered in bandages. It's obvious that she had some sort of procedure. And in the passerby's video, you see the woman arguing with hospital staff, with doctors and nurses, trying to stop her from leaving. Now, she literally had the surgery a couple hours before. It sounded like she just coming out of anesthesia. Have you ever come out of anesthesia? Because you don't just like pop up. It's gotta take a minute for stuff to wear off. She was trying to avoid paying the bill. And it seemed like she actually traveled to Turkey for the surgery. So it sounded like she was like, I'm getting out of here. Bye. Y'all ain't gonna be able to find me, okay? But she had sat down with the doctors, agreed on the cost and everything. But soon as she was able to wake her behind up from the anesthesia, she pieced out, okay? There's little literal video and like still photos of her arguing with folks in her hospital gown with face all bandaged up. Girl, first of all, I don't know, maybe it's easier to leave a hospital than I understand. But ma'am, you probably had to walk by the nurse's station, and if somebody was outside, like on a smoke break or something, they might have been like, "She don't look like she's supposed to be out here. Face still swollen. Face still swollen. What was you gonna do? How were you gonna call an Uber? How was you gonna get home, ma'am?" She said, "I'm not paying for this." And it don't even seem like she saw the result. So it wasn't like y'all messed me up. She was just like, "Nah, thank you." What was she gonna do? Because she would have to come back for like a follow up, or right, like a post op sort of thing. Homegirl was like, "I came for one thing, and now I'm leaving." All right. I don't even know. They seem to convince her to take her behind back in the hospital. Because I guess at some point, if she didn't, they would have called the police. Like, you trying to abscond. You literally just had your face cut open and you just want to walk outside? Like, that don't even seem like like you need to like sterilize stuff, and like you can't just be walking out with your face all to the elements and you just had it like rearranged or something. I don't know if she, maybe she was still actually, maybe she was reacting to the anesthesia, right? Maybe it wasn't that she wasn't trying to pay. Is it like anesthesia? You don't know how you gonna be afterwards. So, maybe they're making a big fuss out of nothing. And it was really because people always try to be making up news stories. So what if that's the case? What if that's the case that she was just a little loopy coming up out that anesthesia, because she had to be fully under, right? She had to be fully under. It don't look like she had a purse or nothing, like her extra clothes. So you just gone. This doesn't seem well thought out. That's why I'm thinking maybe it was that something was going on. Like she was just like something was with the anesthesia. That's what I would say. Cause how far you think, girl, you have on a hospital gown, some slippers, and was it though? You know those paper slippers they be trying to give you in the hospital. But you know what, those socks, those like grippy socks that you get in the hospital. Let me tell you something. I love those. What? I love those bad boys. I'm like, can I have an extra pair of socks? My feet are cold. You got wood floors, girl. You better go to the hospital. Get hurt, go to the hospital, and get you some of them socks. I love them socks. When they come up like real far on your leg. Listen, the winter months, that stuff is amazing. I love those socks. I paid for these, okay? Okay. Shoot. Take as many socks as I want to. These mine. But I'm just like, how far did she think she was gonna go? How far did she think she was gonna go? Not far. First of all, you out in the street where everything, just everything, like them little thin robes don't be doing nothing, okay? They just don't. I don't know. It's not gonna protect you from the elements. And then you got on these slippers. I don't know. Maybe they have different slippers in the hospitals in Istanbul. I'm not sure. But from what I remember, it's like the little paper slippers. Like, I'm surprised she even got outside in them. I would have took the socks. I would have took the sock, and maybe she should have had like a sweatshirt and put it on over. Like, you can't escape a hospital in a hospital gown. Not that I've tried, but it just seems like not the best decision. But I don't know. I don't know. No, I don't know. I haven't done it, so not quite sure. But if you've tried, let us know. Because I don't think it's a crime if you're trying to escape, right? Because they would just put in your file AMA, against medical advice. But if you're trying not to pay, I think that's where you'll get in trouble. I'm not an attorney though, so find out for yourself and report back. But that's it, y'all. That's the HOA update. And these silly folk doing crazy things and being upset about the consequences. I mean, moral of the stories, don't feed the animals. And just don't try to sneak out of a hospital in a hospital gown. I can't say nothing to whether or not you should try to like not pay. I feel like you should pay for the services rendered, but if you're gonna do a job, do it correctly. So here's the finished look. Just, there it is. Today I actually forgot all of my hair things, so I ended up just having a whole bunch of bobby pins that I just kind of pinned into some sort of like thing with my hair. So, yeah, today's an interesting day. But I hope that some of this was helpful, and I also hope that you're continuing to take care of yourself. Let me know what you think about these stories. And I guess that's it on the HOA, but I'll probably be updating you about this little committee I'm on. I would love it if you liked the video, and I would love it even more if you subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.